Good evening. This is Single Again for the First Time. I am Vincent Truman. This is Chicago, Illinois, and we're somewhere in the middle of late March. We're somewhere in the middle of late March 2013. It's a late night edition, doing wine instead of coffee, because I've got some stuff on my mind. What's the stuff you got on your mind, Vince? Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to kick my own ass. I am going to kick my own ass, and you're going to listen to it, if you like. It's actually totally up to you. In this podcast, I'll be talking a bit more in depth about my marriage and the demise thereof. When it was first suggested that we get separated, and this was Jennifer's idea, it wasn't my idea. I tried to be the manly man, and I tried to take as much responsibility as possible. But being of the generation that is, post big wave of feminism, post sexual revolution, I was brought up to be very liberal. I didn't want to take all the responsibility, so I took 51%. As things began to develop, I started to rethink that and take a couple points off my score, if you will. Like I didn't cheat. I took a few points off there. I never lied. I mean, there's little white lies, but it's not like I hacked into her computer or anything. So I took a few more points off for that. I never hit her or abused her. So I took a few more points off on that. I loved her cats as if they were my own. Took a few more points off that. I mean, it's still a commitment. I planned trips out west, out south, out east. Never went north. Might have been a failing of mine. But I always wanted to get us out and experience new things together. So I took a few more points off that. And I didn't like sports. So that kept me in the marriage an extra 3, 4, 5, 6 months out of the year. I thought that was kind of important. So I took a few more points off that, and I came to about 11%. My fault. And the reason I kept it at 11 is because when we separated, we signed a separation agreement with witnesses, 2 of mine, 2 of hers, and in it said that husband and wife, they're hitting some hard times, but they are dedicated to working on the relationship. I did. She didn't. She, in short, she lied to my fucking face. All right? She gets to live with that, and all of her friends get to live with that too. So rock on with your bad self. Okay? So 11% seemed about right. Stack on a few months. Meanwhile, a few months later, I started reading a book called Mating In Captivity that my friend Tina suggested to me. And it started blowing my mind. I started seeing things that I did within the context of the marriage that helped the marriage fail. It strangled various bits of it, and I got to kick my own ass a little bit. So I'm going to do it publicly. Because what the fuck? For one, I was very concerned with the stability of the home. That probably sounds like a good thing, doesn't it? Yeah, it kind of is. But, in the years prior to being with Jennifer, I was a bit of a pig, bit of a rogue, bit of a dick, bit of a player. I was a player. So when it came time to get into the serious relationship, I got rid of some of my Peter Panisms and grew up as I thought a grown-up man acts. So I was very concerned with the stability, the security, the predictability, the safety of our home base together. End result was it dried up the intimacy. Sex life kind of went away. That's kind of my fault. Because intimacy, or I'll take responsibility for it, I'll put it that way. Intimacy needs the risk, it needs some of the unknown, it needs some of the danger. It needs some of the mystery. And I kind of sucked that dry by trying to ensure that things were safe and predictable and stuff like that. Because I had some issues. I knew Jennifer already had some issues, tons of issues, between the 2 of us. And I wanted everything safe. And things got safe. Upside and downside to that. Another thing I did is I did keep my own identity because I am a playwright. And I'm an author, and I'm an actor. So I have, wherever there's money not to be made, I'm there, right? So I had all this other stuff to maintain my own identity. Downside is every time I would finish a book or a play or some new piece of work, I would dedicate it to her. I didn't let it stay in my realm. So I tried to fuse my world and her world together with like this constant weight of new work. And I would present, a book to her as if it was a dozen roses. I don't think I ever got her a dozen roses because I thought, hell with a dozen roses. I wrote you a book, a novel, etc., whatever. And thinking about it now, that just put too much pressure on her. And I regret that. A third thing I did was, and this is, pardon the language coming up here. This is going to get a little PG-13. But I was a bit of a pussy. I kind of did whatever she wanted to do, kind of whenever she wanted to do it. What should we do now? We should move in together. Okay. What should we do now? We should get married. Okay. What should we do now? We should buy a house. Okay. And I rolled so much that I never was able to really assert my own dominance within the relationship. And I wasn't looking to be dominant all the time, but I didn't take any of it. There was none of the seesaw. She was always the dominant. She was on the seesaw. I was always on the bottom, and she was just always hanging up in the air. There was no balance. Now, with respect to this third point, this kind of developed. There you go. Developed into kind of like a sick pathology that we both embarked on, in which we told each other clearly what we were after, but we never listened to each other. That was a failing on both sides. And it involves the video game Second Life. If you don't know Second Life, that's awesome. Never get to know it. But quite quickly, it's a virtual game where you can kind of create a 3D avatar, and you can name it whatever you want, and you can fly, and you can hang out. It's kind of a glorified chat room, really. And we had avatars in the game. We both played the game. Shortly after we got separated, Jennifer created an avatar called Nerdy Martini. Nerdy Martini was a submissive into BDSM shit. And that was fulfilling the need that she had to not be dominated all the time. She wanted to be dominated. And admittedly, that's strange for a woman to even, I think it's difficult for a woman to speak out loud, especially in the post-feminist, post-sexual revolution world in which we find ourselves. It's very difficult to kind of say that. She actually never said that to me. I just discovered the avatar because I'm as good a spy as she is. Me, I had an avatar. If that story sounded weird, this is going to sound a lot weirder. I had an avatar called Madelyn, and I would use Madelyn as my personal porn hub, and I'd go be seduced by guys, and I'd let them fuck me. Now, I never was gay. I never thought much about that. That never turned me on. But what turned me on was being approached, being thought of as special, being thought of as desirable, which I didn't really get. That was the thing that I was yearning for in the marriage. And Jennifer was yearning for her own thing, and neither one of us were listening to each other. So of course it went boom. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of put that stuff out there because it's important that I grow from this situation, and maybe by sharing, somebody out there listening will go, "Oh fuck, I've created a secure home. What went wrong?" Well, there's balances to everything. There's not one color paint you can use to create the rainbow. Wow, that's a horrible analogy. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. So there you go. My ass is kicked.